All right. Welcome back, Optimus. It has been a long time since I have seen you guys. And I missed you. Miss trading, miss hanging out with y'all. But it is important. I absolutely believe it is important to take time off, not necessarily just to recuperate or regenerate or rejuvenate or any of the other re's in the eights. Uh, but also because I think it's absolutely necessary, especially if we want to build a business and life that we love, that is well balanced, um, that fits an ideal life. I think it's important to build a business around the lifestyle that you actually want, not necessarily the lifestyle that you have. I think it's really important. And I say that because I've had a lot of experience in my life um, where I've actually built like businesses, but those businesses that I've built. Hey, what's up, Tiny? Happy New Year! Welcome to the first trading session of 2023. I was just talking about um, the uh, the importance of taking time off, since obviously I'm coming back from a 2 week time off, and the importance of it not just to recuperate and regenerate and rejuvenate, but also because I think it's really important to build a business in life that you love in the way that you want it to end up, not necessarily in the way that it is right now. Like I was saying, that I've actually had a lot of businesses that I've built up that I didn't take the time to do that, and when it came time to actually needing time off, um, it was like impossible to take it. And so I began taking this different approach where where I take time off at set intervals, and in doing so, uh, people I worked with understood that and respected it, and it was just significantly easier to build a business going forward without getting burnt out because a marathon, not a sprint. Um, and same goes with me for trading. Trading is a business. I think it's important that you see it that way. Speaking of trading, let's go ahead and jump in and get the screen up here. Go. That one. Here we are. All right. So market falling today, as expected. Huge chance for a major recession in 2023. I've mentioned this before in the past, and I'll mention it again. I believe that the market will likely begin to hit its trough around June of 2023. I did notice that Amazon was hitting its trough during a time over my break. So I did pick up some shares of Amazon when they were down at their bottom, and it's come up a little bit since then. Bought in around 82. I think it's trading around 85ish right now. So pretty decent trade there. I'm gonna probably be holding that for the long term. But as far as future trading goes, you can see that we didn't even hit the top of the upper band of the volume weighted average price. By the way, guys, this is also new for 2023. I'm gonna remove these drawings here, but this is new for 2023. You guys have never seen me trade with the upper and lower bands of the volume weighted average price. I decided to add them on here because basically I would look at the market on my phone and then would see consistently how it would bounce or reject off of the upper and lower band. And that was a really consistent thing that was happening. So I was like, okay, I think it's important to add these. It honestly looks like you can see right here across through the VWAP. It's kind of coming back up. That's the bottom band of the VWAP, not the middle band that we normally play off of. It's kind of popping up a little bit, and you can see that the 9 is approaching, getting above the 12. We're approaching a TTM switch over to cyan, and I'm going to take a little feeler trade here. Entered in there at 38.45, and looking for a pop back up. I'm not currently going to be trading in an evaluation today, but I will be back on the eval soon. But I want to get reacquainted with trading. It's been a couple of weeks really for me, and just dealing with Christmas and stuff like that. I just want to get back in the swing of things. Christmas and relatives and So right now, this feeler trade is a reasonable trade. Um, I'm waiting for the 9 to get above the 12. You can see that there is a little bit of a cyan switch here. It's very minor. Um, it may not even be worth it, but because we did cross like below and back above this lower band of the view app, I do think that we may be hitting kind of around some of the lows right now, not necessarily of the day, but of the time frame of the period right now. And I'm just looking for a pop up towards the EMA 35, which is right here. So first thing I'm looking for is that 9 to cross above the 12 to really give us the confirmation that we are getting more buyers than sellers. Then we're going to be looking for the 1226 crossover. That's a cyan crossing above the 26 simple moving average. So you can see right there, we had this green hammer candle. We had the 9 just barely crossing above the 12. It's not enough for confirmation yet. If we do get that confirmation, it'll likely come along with the 26 SMA crossover as well. We went from 0.1 on the negative side to 0.8 on the positive TTM side, and we're currently going to about 1.4, 1.5. So that's pretty decent momentum. I feel confident in this trade. There's the 9 crossing above the 12, all of it crossing above the 26. Of course, with this kind of range, it could have fell down. It looks like it actually came up, almost touched our sell order. It was like one tick below sell order, but that's okay. I think this is still going to continue to pop a little bit more. So gonna cut it here. Took that profit. Up $500 on the first trade. That is the very first trade of 2023 for me. I do think this is going to pop up some. Likely our trade would have worked out, but I took that profit off just to kind of secure the bag and start to build a little bit of a cushion on the day. We may get a pullback here. There's a pullback there. So not bad for the first trade of the year. My music is louder than my mic. That's so fascinating because my music is like almost all the way down. Thank you for telling me though. How's that volume? I dropped it about 7 points on the volume. It was only at 12 to begin with out of 100. So it's different though because what the computer is reading is it's reading, from my internal system, not necessarily about the same volume that I hear in my headphones. So let me know if that's good. Nice pop there. I did think that this was going to come up and hit the EMA 35, which I did mention. I just happened to take my stuff off about, I don't know, 6-7 ticks beforehand. And I took that trade off just to get the cushion going. This is looking very nice for a nice pop back up. Look for pops up to the EMA 50 and bounces off of the EMA 35. Potentially trading within this range here. You can see we got a green dot now. I'm going to join the bid here. I think I probably could have got that in a little bit lower. And let's see, 52.48 is that one. I'm going to drop this down to 52. In fact, you know what? I'm going to drop it down to 50. Oh, no, I'm not, because that's basically our entry point. Had a very nice trade for our first trade of 2023. Made $500 on it in the sim. I'm going to check this out on a longer time frame, see what it looks like on a 3-minute chart. You can see on the 3-minute chart, it also tapped the bottom of that VWAP band and then got a red to yellow switch. Red to yellow is an incredibly powerful move. I'm gonna put this just up about $100 off of our trade. There we go. Just took that trade. So up 600 on the day. I still think this is gonna continue to rip, but I don't really want to. I don't want to be in necessarily right around 50. I want to take the trade above 50, just so that I'm not going into a support and resistance situation. I'd rather take 50 as support instead of 50 as resistance, if that makes sense. Our new 3-minute candle is pumping in from -21 to -18. Very nice momentum on this. Really big possibility that this will run back up towards the volume weighted average price of 38.72, which would be a really awesome run. Already it's moved and bounced off of this 40 range up to 48, which is a really big move. That is a lot of ticks, like 32 ticks off there. I wonder if adjusting my mic, like if I can adjust my mic volume. I wonder if hey, what's up, Origin Code? Happy New Year. Welcome to 2023, the very first trading session. Is the mic better? Is it louder? Because if it is, I'm just curious. This mic is still new to me. So there is a dial on the front that like adjusts volume, but I don't know if it's volume necessarily for you guys or the recording. But I did move it up a little bit. Tell me what you guys think of it, please. So 745 looking like it may end up looking really nice. We've got a lot of buyer and seller volume on this 3-minute candle here. I think that this 50, yes, is acting as resistance, the 38.50, but you can see that we're moving up half a point on the TTM. We're riding along the EMA 35. So I do think that we have an opportunity for bounces, maybe off this 9 EMA right here. I joined the bid right there. Got the entry at 48. And I'm going to flatten out here. Trying to. Okay, there we go. So made 150 on that one. So we've taken 3 trades so far. One that was 500, one that was 100, and one that just now that was 150. I took that trade off because we're coming up and we're hitting the EMA 35. I do think that this is going to run up to like 51, 52. But obviously we're going to deal with pretty heavy resistance along the 38.50 level. I'm going to move this to 8 ticks instead of 12. We are seeing massive moves. Like this went from 47 up to 50, which was 12 ticks. But I'm trying to get out in the range of it, not necessarily take the very lowest entry and the very highest peak of things, which is great when that happens. But I try not to shoot for that because sometimes I find myself in trades that I find myself in losing trades as a result of that. Here's the push up towards the EMA 50 that I was talking about. We may run into resistance right here. Very nice looking trade so far. A good balance now. Okay, cool. So it would seem that there's a volume dial on my microphone, so maybe just needed to turn that up because it was actually turned down pretty low. I'll try and adjust the volume and adjust the levels as we go and try and really dial it in. Pun intended. Nice rip up through the EMA 50. I probably should have taken that trade. It's just like sometimes it's like a little too bullish for me. And I'm like, okay, well, I need some like a little bit of pullback, which this was a very like textbook pullback here, and then a pull up to the EMA 50. And so likely what I'm thinking that we may see is pullbacks down to 38.50. And so 38.50 would be like an awesome entry point, I think. Maybe an entry off of 51. I don't know if we can get down that low. I'm just going to cut this trade, and then I'm going to take a look at the 3-minute time frame. So you remember I said for at 7:45 looking for a nice big push up. There it was. We're approaching a 1226 crossover on the 3-minute chart. The TTM is building rapidly on the 3-minute side. We are pulling back to 38.50 area, like I just mentioned. Got an entry off of 50, and I'm looking for a push up now towards like 53-ish, and I may end up holding this trade for a few minutes in order to make that happen. Now, normally you guys know that my trades are anywhere from like 5 seconds to 30 seconds a lot of the times, but I do think this trade will be a couple of minutes, mainly because I took that entry off of 50, and I'm looking now for it to kind of push up to really to like kind of test this zone of 54. We have a 3-minute hammer candle coming in, which is looking really nice. A lot of buying pressure coming in from here. You can see right here on our little bulls bears chart, and we got a really good entry off of 50. So I'm not particularly worried about this. I think 50 is going to hold, especially with the kind of momentum that we've been seeing build up. I do want to check this on the 5-minute chart though. 5-minute is looking great. We actually just got a red yellow switch. That's perfect for this setup. So, and this pull up would actually be to the just past the 12 EMA on the 5-minute chart. Switching out to the 1-minute chart so I can get a better grasp of the current momentum. I'm gonna cut this trade and take that profit. Paid $200 on that one. Glad I cut it too. Look at that drop, dropping down to about our entry level. Our entry being 38.50, dropping slightly below it. I did take it off though before it dropped, so we're up $950 on 4 trades. Really nice, honestly. So on 4 trades out of 950 divided by 4, we're making about $237.50 per trade today, which is awesome. Really good start of the new year. Really happy with that. Again, guys, this is in the simulator. I will get back to the evaluation soon, but I really want to take my time and step back into it, especially because I did fail some evaluations over the break as well. And not only that, I did fail one. I failed one, I think, on like the last day that we streamed or something like that. I'm not sure. But I did fail my 50K over the break, which was super frustrating too, because when I failed it, the trade was actually really like a great trade. It just so happened that I had very little drawdown available, and it pulled back like 2 ticks, kicked me out of my position, and or 2 or 3 ticks before ripping, took me out of my position. And what it really taught me, that I have to put a lot of emphasis on getting great entries, not necessarily just awesome exits, but the entries are something that I needed to pay better attention to and really kind of like target my entry, as opposed to being like, oh, it's looking like it's about to rip. Let's get in and wait for that rip to happen. Instead, it's more like being like, okay, I'm gonna try to get an entry here at 50, something like that, And so that's where that's at. Glad I cut that trade, and took that profit of $200. Not just to secure the bag, but it did pull back all the way down below 50, and it's bouncing now off the 26. Times it 52. I want to see how this is stacking up on the 3-minute chart. When you look at the 1 minute, it looks bad. When you look at the 3-minute, it's really not that bad. You can see it's bouncing up the 90 MA. And you can see on the 3-minute chart, it's still stacking up pretty well on the TTM. You can actually see that bulls bears right there. The green being the buying pressure coming in, significantly outweighing the selling pressure and pushing all the way back up to 51 off of really big drawdown down to about 47. That pulled all the way up to 51. Taking a look now at the 5. Woo! Not used to the early mornings. Although the last couple of days I've been getting up at like 4 a.m. just to prep for this, but I am pretty tired from it. Okay, so 7:45, we were on our 5-minute candle. We were at 27.8, say negative 27.8. And that switched over to negative 26.5 area. Our next candle coming in at 55, which is just about another minute from now. And that will help. Apple Watch trying to talk to me. So really gonna be looking for that 7:55, 8 o'clock, top of the hour kind of push, and we're gonna be looking for resistance here at 58 off of that. But really need to see on the 5-minute chart now. I want to see this pop up on the next 5-minute candle, which is in about 30 seconds. Sorry to hear that, Tiny. Green is good though. Way overtraded. I've been there a million times. You've seen me do it live. I think this is a really solid statement here. So first off, Tiny, kudos to you for being aware of yourself. This is incredibly important, guys. If you want to be a good trader, listen to what Tiny is saying right here. She's taking account of her personal situation right now. She's taking account of her emotions, and asking yourself, which is a really important question, am I just seeing trends where those trends aren't necessarily there? And I think she's absolutely correct that if you stare at the chart long enough, you'll start seeing stuff that just isn't really there on the chart, and you may almost even convince yourself that that a move is coming that may never come, and end up in positions on the wrong side. I've personally done it, and I've done it a lot, and I've done it live here on this stream. And it's just something that can happen, and it's super important that you guys are able to recognize that. Tiny, kudos to you for being able to do that, because that is an incredibly important skill that any trader needs to develop, regardless if you're long bias or short bias or any of those things. So yeah, absolutely, Tiny. I think it's just something that's just super important. There's that 5-minute push I was talking about. So 7:55, I said that it needed to bounce at 7:55, and it did. We ripped all the way up to 53 off of 46. This was exactly what I was looking for it to do. This is exactly what I was describing. Now, as I was saying, we're going to be looking for a move now up to about 57, which likely we'll be looking for in the next 3 minutes. I certainly could have and likely should have taken that move that just happened there. We have a new setup on the way on a 3-minute chart. You can see the 9 is now approaching the 12. We're getting ready for that cyan switch. This was a really solid move, and it's looking really good, really good. So we had sort of a U-shaped pattern here. If I zoom in, it'll be a little easier to see. You see that sort of U-shaped pullback, and then now pop up. This is also something to look at on the moving averages here. The 9 is above the 12, and that just got a crossover above the EMA 35. This solidifies the bullish move up. So we did have this pullback. You can see right there on the TTM, the cooling. And then we switched to cyan right here after that big pullback. And then we got the EMA 35 crossover now. And then likely we may see some resistance here at 55, but I don't think that resistance is going to last long. Now we have movement. We've kind of cleared the way all the way up towards the volume weighted average price. So I'm actually likely should have already done this, but I'm going to throw in for 20 ticks. There's a big fat move. I don't know if it'll even happen. And I'm going to look for an entry maybe off of 54 if we're able to get it. I don't know if we will, though. We've got 13 seconds left in this. I think that I'm actually just going to cut that and just join the bid. We got in at 54.75. Not the worst entry. I definitely would have liked to have seen a better entry. We saw a lot of selling pressure just come in right now. And this is what I'm talking about on working on my entries. You saw that it even kind of pulled back some. 20 ticks is right up there at 38.60. This is definitely a swing. I'm swinging for the fences with this one. Especially because we've got to get above 57. I'm in at 54.75. Even a move up to 57 would be a very profitable move. But I am looking for this to go all the way up to 60. Now here at 7:59, we've got 15 seconds to the top of the hour. There's a move all the way up. Hands over the cover button. I may get scared and just take profits. That's what's happening. I'm taking those profits. Up 1,550 on the day. Have not taken a losing trade in 2023. I do think it was a pop up to 60. There it is. There's that pop up. Definitely should have left it on the table. Could have got another like $2 out of that. But hey, you know what? Profit's profit. That was a pretty nice trade. So not gonna complain. But definitely, 38.60 was my exit point. Was actually, if you guys notice, was listed at 59.5, but I was wanting to see the move up to 60 because I want to see it move through my exit, not to my exit, if that makes sense. Getting really nice rips. There's that move up to 60, tapping it now. Switching over to the 3-minute chart because I want to get a real assessment of how is this going. There's that 9 crossing above the 12. That's what I said that we were waiting for. And actually, that 60 was a really solid exit point because if you look at this, there's an EMA 35 there. It's likely going to act as pretty strong resistance. And so we may see some pullbacks now to like 57 or something like that. And then what we're going to want to see is, and we just got the cyan switch, by the way, right here at the top of the hour. So sometime in the next 2 minutes, we're going to want to see another cyan candle come in, buying pressure come in, and then rip up past this EMA 35, and then come up and test this EMA 50, which is right here at 63. That's about 12 ticks higher than 60, where we're at now. We're currently at 58, getting a pretty decent pullback on this from 3 points. negative 3.7 on the yellow to negative 0.1. Like I said, we're gonna wait for 8:03, which is just in about 1 minute. We're gonna wait for 8:03 on the clock. We have a lot of selling pressure coming in here. You can tell as evidenced by this really large wick on this candle, and then we can also see it here on the bulls and bears. So we are pulling back, like I said, to about 57. That was where the I'm gonna put an entry here at 57. I honestly wish that I had already put that entry there. And if you remember when I said off of 60, we may get some pullbacks to about 57. It actually came down and tapped 56. So pretty close. I think I missed that opportunity there when it dropped down to 57. So I think that this trade is no longer valid. So I'm gonna cut this, even though it might have filled me. The reason why I say it's no longer valid is because basically this right here. So this new candle, which is coming in at 2.6 on the TTM, starting in opening around 56, and we're getting a 9 crossing above the 26. You can see right here that we have this crossover inbound. So we may see some pullbacks down to 55. I'm going to look for an entry off of 55. We did get that entry. And I'm trading this off the 3-minute chart, which is not my favorite chart for short-term trades. And this exit here that I have at 60, I think is a little potentially too aggressive. I'm going to try to get out at 59, which will still be a really solid trade. I'm going to check this on the 1-minute chart, which is a better chart for me in order to trade momentum. So I'm trying to get out right here at 59, which is below these two candles. I'm essentially waiting. Oh, well, we have this green hammer candle on here. I may cut this trade. Momentum's kind of dying down a little bit. I'm going to drop this down to just 2 ticks above our entry point. So I may end up cutting this trade. This is pulling back more than I want to see. I think this is going to bounce, but the question is when and with how much pullback. Pulling back now to 54. Currently down too much. I'm out. Lost 500 on that, unfortunately. I think it was more like 550. Or me at 1550. That's our first losing trade of the day. Up 1,000. Not gonna complain. Taking 5 trades or 6 trades. Taking 6 trades. Pulling all the way back now to about 50. Will we bounce off this EMA 50? You can see that right now this 26 is approaching a crossover of the EMA 35 on the 1-minute chart. If this 26 does cross above this 35, that does indicate a little bit of bearish or sell-off pressure coming in. It doesn't necessarily mean that this move is over, but what it means is that this move is on its way out. If that is the case, we do have a lot of volume today, and that's a good thing. It's telling us a possible crossover the 5200, but I think I need to adjust how that's measuring that, because if you look at the distance here between, like, I can't even like make it look nice. It almost looks flat. The green line here, that's the 50 EMA, and the red line here is the 200 SMA. But you can say, like, this is at 70, and this one's all the way down to 52. So I think that I need to adjust that indicator where it's telling me like a possible crossover of the 5200 inbound, because we're talking about $18 of difference. That's a massive amount of difference on that. and that's okay. I I set that up experimentally recently, because basically I have it set and I have it dialed in really well for the 12 and 26 crossover, but I just copied the same settings, and so I figured it would be off to begin with. So I think I just need to adjust that because that is a long distance. Whew. Long distance indicators. Does anybody remember long distance phone calls? Maybe I'm dating myself. That sounds weird. Like that almost sounds like I'm like dating myself. Hey, you know what? Maybe you should date yourself. Probably really good for your confidence and your ego. All right. This pullback is definitely heavy. We're pulling all the way back to 50. I think that we're gonna ride 50 for a while, but I'm not taking a trade at the moment. On the 3 minute, this is really a bit more telling. It's a little easier to see here on this 3 minute. So when I took that trade in anticipation for the 12-26 crossover on the 3 minute chart. You can see that even though that crossover did happen, it didn't play out very well. And normally this is a really solid setup. Excuse me. Normally it's a really solid setup on the 3 minute chart. It's easier to play on the 1 minute chart, but normally it's a really solid setup. You can see we went from 2 to 4 on the TTM3. We're bouncing really nicely off of 50. You can see all that buying pressure coming in from this wick and this wick. So gotta be a way to like make this better. It's a little easier to read. A lot of sell pressure coming in now. By the way, guys, we've been hanging out here for a while, and we do have an awesome Discord group. You may have seen Tiny just pop up in our Discord group just now. Please, guys, join our Discord group. We do have a really active community there of optimists just like you who are there to discuss anything and everything from futures trading to forex to crypto to stocks to if not trading, also business, entrepreneurship, philosophy. We talk about it all. Anything that helps humans grow, that's what we're there to talk about. Also, guys, if you want to check out what I am currently working on to earn funding in the futures market, I'm using Elite Trader Funding. These guys are awesome. I personally think that they're one of the best in the biz. And the reason why these guys are the new kids on the block. They've been around for less than a year. In that time, they have grown their company and their audience and their user base substantially. Huge growth, massive growth. And a lot of that is because, number one, they make it really easy to work with any of these things. They integrate with a lot of software, TradingView, NinjaTrader, Rhythmic, Tradebate, you name it. If it's future software, they almost always work with it. Personally, I'm working on the 50K evaluation as well as a 100K static evaluation. If you guys use the link in my description and promo code JSBEST, you can actually use that link to lock in a lifetime discount. Now, what's cool about this is that with the 50K evaluation and your discount, you'll be right around putting in roughly $100. Okay, the profits are going to 3,000. That $100 that you put in there is giving you access to $50,000 and the ability to trade 8 contracts, 8 minis, and 80 micros. So it does give you a drawdown of 2,000. That's a trailing max drawdown. So just make sure you click the see more details link right here so that you fully understand all the rules and regulations in order to actually earn funding. Personally, I think it's one of the least risky and one of the biggest opportunities for anybody who doesn't already have access to $50,000 or $100,000 of their own money. This is awesome because it allows you to trade somebody else's money and actually earn a significant portion of the profits. So you actually get to keep 100% of your first $12,500, and you get to keep 80% of all the profits past the $12,500. So you keep 80, they take 20. They were talking in their Discord group about potentially upping that and allowing the person to keep even more. But really, it's just that they take a lot of feedback from their people, and I really like that. Wonderful customer service. One of the main things that I look for in a company, and actually I want to work with a company in customer service. So check these guys out. Link in the description. Promo code JSBEST to lock in a lifetime discount. Check out like 50K or 75K evaluation, whatever works for you. Personally, like I said, I'm on the 50K and the 100K static. So let's go ahead and dive into the charts yet again and see. Okay, so we did that move did fail on the 3-minute chart. I'm glad I cut it. This would have eaten away all of our profits. So we're still up $1,000 on the day. Not bad. This is a really nice move. This is why I added, for anybody who's been here a while, this is why on my volume weighted average price, why I re-added in the upper and lower bands of the volume weighted average price. Excuse me, was because of these bounces right here. And I started noticing it when I would check the market in the morning on my mobile phone. My phone would actually have these in here, and honestly, TOS on the phone is really challenging to use, and I don't even know how this got put on or how to edit it or maneuver it at all. But it was there, and I was like, okay, well that's just VWAP, and it's just an upper and lower band, and it was respecting it really well, and I was like, man, this is like great for finding support and resistance on a more macro level within the trading day. So I added it on my charts, and you can see how well it's worked out. And this is actually my first time trading with this on my charts. We're dropping below that VWAP, just like we did here, here, and here. And then we got that subsequent bounce. So we may actually get another bounce soon. I don't think it's ready quite yet. You can see this drop at the open, dropped all the way down here, came up, pulled up a little bit, and then pulled back down. Not a lot of pull up until we started leveling off. And this was where you guys saw me start trading. It was right in here where this had leveled off, and it was getting this now like red yellow switch. I'm gonna wait for a similar style setup. You can see even like what I was just mentioning just now. It pulled back down to the VWAP, got a tiny little bounce off of it. I don't think that this bounce is necessarily like this isn't something I would take, but it's more just an observable thing where when it comes down and it hits the bottom band of this VWAP, it's usually a pretty strong level of support before it begins to move in another direction. So, checking this on the 5. So on the 5, our TCM had stacked from 23. Sorry, my visual impairment is like making it kind of hard because the 3s and the 8s look really similar. So negative 23.8 to negative 21. 21.5 to 21.05, so basically flat. That brought in a red candle at negative 21.69. Something to note is that this red candle at being at negative 21.69 is actually higher, or actually about the same as this candle here, which was negative 21.58, and it is higher than this one here that was negative 23. So we had that pullback at 810 on this red candle, and then the new one is coming in at negative 20.9, right around negative 21. So that is about 0.7 above this last one. So this may end up kind of bottoming out here again and then popping back up, just like what it did right here, where it was kind of coming up. It was hitting the resistance on this 45 level for a long time. Would have been 5, 10, 15, 20, really 20 minutes before it kind of popped up, and then into the 25, and then at 30 minutes was really where the breakout began, which was just like a pop up and then a pullback, and then right there at 755 is where it really got that nice bounce. But so this looks like it's continuing to bounce off of that VWAP level, and TTM looking like currently at 20. So 21.06 was our 805 candle, 21.69 was our 810 candle, and then our 815 candle currently at 20.2. So movement about 1.4, not bad. Definitely, obviously, a pullback off of that 50 level, and I wouldn't take this trade off the 5-minute chart, but on the one, alright, so you can see right here, that's where we exited that trade for a loss of like 500, and then we should have shorted off of this, because this is also a pretty valid move right here. I'm gonna do what I want, where it switches from this is like using the TCM for the downside, where it switches from the dark blue to the red. This is actually a really solid way to trade as well. If you're able to trade short or short a little bit better, you can use the TTM for the short side. So this pull all the way back. We have this red-yellow move that's beginning now, which really, again, is that balance off that volume weighted average price on the lower band. I'm going to go back and take a look at the original bounce off of the VWAP lower band bounce. There was this one, which left some opportunity, and that fell back down. This was where we were trading our trade zone. My guess is it's likely going to repeat this kind of process, where it's hitting the lower band and then it's bouncing, and then it fails, goes back down, and does it again, and does it again. Kind of like a stair-stepping down pattern. There it is. There's the pop-up, and now the pullback. So we'll be looking at measuring the TTM. We're hitting resistance along the 9 EMA, which for this happened to be at 37.5. So the 9 EMA is acting as our resistance right now. Pulling back to 13.7 to 13.5 to 13.4 to 13. So really no momentum on the upside. Definitely a lot more momentum on the downside. Because you can see, like, this is basically flat across that many candles. We should have been able to break 13, but clearly it was unable to. We need a lot more buying pressure in order to have this break above, really above this 90 EMA. By the way, if y'all chilling, y'all hanging out, make sure you like, subscribe, and ring that bell for notifications. It really does help the channel grow. Our channel grew pretty significantly over the break, and I was happy about that a lot. Mainly off of our TTM squeeze video that applies to low float, high volume stocks, and I think that when I originally made that video, I was only trading stocks. I wasn't trading futures at that time, and that video was mainly focused on trading low float, high volume stocks that were moving with oftentimes with the catalyst, and it's an incredibly effective strategy for trading stocks on a short term time frame. And I really love that strategy. We took that same strategy and we applied it to futures with okay results. We did have to make some edits, and the edits that we've made are starting to work out really well for trading futures. You can see, how we used it earlier in the stream to get this up to 1550, and then that was our peak of the day, currently at 1000. So, really important level right here. We did have this bounce off VWAP, the lower band of it, and then a rejection off the 9, and then another bounce just above it, and now we're breaking above that 9. So we do have probability of popping up yet again. Movement of 13.4 to 12.9 to 12.0 to 10.2. Okay, so I will be looking for a trade right here, but I'm not going to go for 26 before I'm going to be looking for 6. And I'm trying to get an entry off of 40. Enter to 40. I'm just looking for a move up to 41.50-ish. 12.0 to 10.1 to 8.7. Bit of a pullback. Felt like I could have got a better entry on that. And again, like I said earlier in the stream, I really need to work on my entry points. That is an area that I really have to put a lot of focus on trying to get better at, because clearly I need work there. Like this, honestly, like even my intuition said not to get it at 40. It said to look for an entry around like 37. This did actually pull back all the way to the 9 EMA, which was right around 37. So, but I can tell that sometimes I get like, I think it's FOMO, where I'm like, oh, it's moving now, let me get in right now. And sometimes that messes me up, puts me at a higher entry point that I should be at. 24, so we should have a new 3-minute candle. 3-minute candle looking like. There's the new one. We're gonna need to see a crossover. I probably need to cut this trade. Wow. Let's see if I'm trying to get out real quick if that's even possible. Maybe all the way back to 40. That's pretty cool. From 8.9 to 7.5. Got it there. Lost 750 on that. That's no good. That's no good. Up 350 on the day, but definitely I could have done that trade significantly better. I think I definitely chased this, and I think that can happen to any trader. But I absolutely chased that. And you know, and ended up down because of it. Gratefully, we're up in the day, but it's a lot less motivating when you see 3 figures over 4 figures, especially when felt like this was an unnecessary loss. The last loss that we took, it was $550. That one made sense to me because I took it for a breakout that failed. So that one made more sense. This one, I literally chased it, and that's on me. So taking a nice bounce here. off the view app lower band, and then a bounce up again. And we entered way too high. 37 is honestly what my intuition said to take that entry. But then when we looked at the 3 minute chart, it was like, oh, this isn't even a good trade. Like, and I could tell that right when we checked the 3 minute and saw that this was pulling in um, more red on the TTM. Hadn't even switched to yellow yet. So um, that tells me, number one, I need to be more disciplined today. Clearly, I'm like wanting to take like a boredom trade or something like that because I've been sitting out basically since the drop. And the other thing is that it tells me that I need to wait for my entries and target my entries better. So, that was the main reason for failing the last evaluation. At least I believe it to be. So what we're going to be looking for now is a switch from red to yellow on the TTM 3 minute chart. See if we can kind of take a look and see where it's at. We went from 2.48 to 4.0 to 5.3. So we're still moving in the downward direction. Tried to take a short there. It didn't fill me. To 5.4. Guess I should have just sold market. Now to 5.7. There you go. Made 150 back on a quick short scalp there. 3 ticks. So up $500 on the day. Our peak of the day was up 1,550. Again, one of those trades was because we just got a false breakout. Another one, though, really had a lot more to do with me as a person chasing this area here. I very clearly chased that trade. So getting a massive push back up. $3-4 push. $5 push. That is a lot. That's like 20 ticks right there. So this is a 30 now. And we're continuing to pull back. We should have a new 3-minute candle. I'll be looking for a red yellow move on the TTM3. So we had 4.0 to 4.98 to 6.9 on the current. That's actually a lot. That's a movement of 2 points to the downside. So maybe a while yet before we get that red to yellow move. Maybe some scalping opportunities in here. Just like some super quick shorts. You can see that there is like accumulation happening down here, like this big wick. This one's kind of wicking a little bit, but you can almost see like there is accumulation beginning down here, but there's still a lot of shorting taking place. A little louder than me still? Really? Wow. Yeah, I think the music jumps up and down too. I think that's kind of I don't know. I've been trying to like get it perfect, and it's really challenging to get those levels right. It's a work in progress, like myself, like everything. Massive pull down. And I wish I would have shorted that. All right. A lot of pullback. I'm just gonna check in on Amazon stock. So not bad, not bad. I have an entry on this at 82. Actually, it's like 81 and some change, but it's closer to 82 on my live account. So just want to see what's going on with this. This is going to be a long-term hold for me. I'm looking for this to break above 100 at least. Um, and really, I'm looking for Amazon stock to break above like 120 to 130, somewhere in that range. And so I think it'll be a longer term hold, probably several months. But I do think that $50 a share is not out of the question on this one. When I said $50 a share, by the way, I meant $50 above the 85 area. So 135 for sure. Just for clarity. $7.06 to 8.05 on the TTM red. Again, be looking for red yellow. Red yellow looks like this. You can see the red happening here and the accumulation happening through this process. Then when it switches to yellow, then we start to get that subsequent rip upward, and it runs for a while usually. But yeah, guys, please make sure you like, subscribe, and ring the bell for notifications. We're just 2 subscribers away from 250, so would love it if you're hanging out and you're on the fence, just hit the subscribe button, and it would definitely make a big difference. It'd be a nice, just motivational jump for me for the beginning of 2023. I feel too critical. But yeah, guys, with that, make sure y'all check out Elite Trader Funding. If you want to earn funding in the futures market, I believe these are the guys. I really like these guys. You certainly may be able to find a cheaper price elsewhere. That's definitely possible. But I'm really looking for professionalism in the company itself that I'm working with. I highly value that. I really don't want to work with companies that lack professionalism. These guys have been really professional with me. They spend a lot of time working with people, which I really like. I don't really see that from a lot of companies, especially these days. But they do spend a lot of time in their Discord group helping their community out, and I really like that about these guys. So personally, I'm working on the 50K evaluation. You can use the link in the description and the promo code JSBEST, and that will lock in a lifetime discount for you. So I'm working on the 50K and the 100K static evaluation. So be sure to check those out, guys. Also, to check out our Discord group. Our Discord community is awesome. It's called Optimistic Futures, and we have an awesome Discord community here. People are really helpful. Everybody is, willing to help each other. And aside from helping each other, we talk about everything from philosophy to futures to forex to crypto to entrepreneurship to starting your own business, your own YouTube channel, any of that type of stuff. Guys, we're here. We're here for you. We're here for it. It's all about building an optimistic future for each and every one of us out there. So with that, guys, I love and appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you so much for tuning in. Tiny, always, I'm so happy to see you. It's been a while. This break was kind of long, and I really just wanted to get back to you guys. Um, so thank you so much for being here, and I love and appreciate all of you. I will see you guys in the Discord community where I'm about to post my results. Uh, and we'll see you guys there. Peace.